Good evening to everyone. Thank you for coming. Today is Monday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you all. We do have a quorum present, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. Mr. Rick Chapa is going to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Texas Pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
And Kim Boone will lead us in the board mission statement.
Through high expectations and equitable opportunity, TMISD will focus on the whole child by providing a safe environment and high-quality curriculum with diverse and enriching experiences.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Rick. First up is public hearing with Texas Academic Performance Report 2023-2024.
Mr. President, members of the board, this is an annual requirement by the Texas Education Agency. It's to present in a public hearing the Texas Academic Performance Report. We have Dr. Allison Shum who's going to deliver that for us. Dr. Shum?
Well, good evening, board members, staff, and community. Just like Mr. Van Matry said, today we are here to present the annual table report for the 23-24 school year. Okay, in addition to having to hold a public hearing, it will also be posted on our district website, and you can also go to the TEA and you can actually retrieve it from there as well. Administration building, if anyone needs a copy of the table report, just at the end of the slide, I have my contact information. You can just call me and I can make you a copy of that, okay? And if you are interested in a copy, this is what it will look like. And so if you need one, just give me a call. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so first of all, let's begin with what is the table report, just in case we're not familiar. The table report is the Texas Academic Performance Report, and this is done every year. There's 8 sections to the report. A lot of this information that will be presented tonight is not new. A big part of the table report covers the STAR, the EOC, and so we've had that opportunity to present that data at the beginning of the school year. But in addition to the STAR, it also encompasses the demographics of our student, information on our staff, financial report, and then also like our CCMR information. So all of that is just kind of compiled into one big report. Okay, so let's talk about section 1. I could keep you here all night because there's like...
We don't want you to. You just don't want to be rude.
I know. Thank you. There's like 6,400 data points. But what we've done is we've condensed it, and we are now going to go through the different sections, highlighting the key information from this report. Okay. So with section 1, it kind of gives you an overview of where we stand with accountability. At this time, all of that has been postponed until further notice. So we don't have an accountability rating at this time, as well as special education determination status, and as well as any type of designations. Here is your STAR EOC performance, and when you're looking at the report, it disaggregates it by grade level, by content, by subpopulation, by the different demographics. Here, what you're seeing is just an overall picture of how we perform all grade levels across in all the subject levels. If you look at the data, pretty much, we're stable. There's lots of areas to grow, and that depends on the different campuses. One campus may need to focus more on math, another campus may need to focus on reading, but overall, when you look at the trend, we are pretty stable across the line. We're actually making progress. Okay, attendance, graduation, and dropout rates. If you look at TMISD, we are slightly above the region, and a little bit below the state. Dropout rate, we're doing pretty good there. You know, we have the lowest dropout rate. And then also, when you look at the 4-year long graduation rate, we're also above the state and the region. College, career, and military readiness. Keep in mind, this year lags 2 years, okay? So we're looking at 21, 22, 22, and 23. So if you compare it to the state and the region, yes, we are slightly below, but since we are expanding our CTE programs, those numbers are definitely going to increase. So, but we're in the game, but we're gonna definitely do a lot better the next coming years.
It was,
Okay?
what year was it that we started those CTE programs?
The first year we got
22,
22.
That's where I thought it was. So this is even prior to us even starting those programs.
Yes, yes, okay. And I think overall, right now, if you look at in the PEDS report, there's like maybe 213, so that's gonna just skyrocket. Okay, the next section is the financial report, and I do have a replacement page for that. Again, this is information that has been presented to the board. Again, it's part of the TAPER report. Mr. Philip, is there anything that you want to?
No, this is just a summary of this is basically a recap of the audit from 22-23.
So moving right along. Section 3 is a district accreditation status. Again, here, this is just, again, stating that Pelosi Midway, when we did have our rating of 2022, it was a B, and then it also has the financial rating, which was a superior achievement, which was an A. Section 4 is the campus performance objective. Here you have, and this will also be on the website, and the public can click on these links, but what you see here, I don't know if I can click on this, is the campus improvement plan, and I will just click on the ACC, hopefully that will open. So when you open the campus improvement plan, it's going to take you to the ACC. This campus improvement plan was approved at the beginning of the school year. Right now, our principals are going in and updating the middle of the year to determine where they are with their objective goals. When you looked at the EOC, a lot of that information there drives their campus improvement plan. Like what are going to be their strategies to improve their math scores? What are going to be their strategies to improve their reading scores? So the EOC also drives the campus improvement plan. And I hope I can get that too. Okay, I did it.
So all the testing that the students just did on the campuses is going to be what's going to
It will be
drive.
reflected in here because those scores are received at the end in summer. And a lot of them kind of trickle in. And so based on that data, they look to determine where their needs are.
Well, I think what you're
No,
referencing
I'm
is the
talking-
interim.
Yes.
The interim
Well,
assessments that's
will they
going
be
on.
looking at the interims also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and you can determine, okay, we have interventionists, are they working? So you're kind of like monitoring all the different implementations, like strategies that you have, the programs that you have going. So all that will, falls into this.
Okay.
And then we'll also have another report where we'll present that information so you can see how we're, doing, compared from the beginning of the year to the middle of the year, and then we'll do the end of the year assessment as well. So you'll have that information. Okay, section 5 is a report on violent or criminal incidents. And so here is a chart. I apologize, it's very small, but we didn't have anyone going to JJ, so that's always good. I guess our biggest, we had 294 21s, and then there's about 34 or 25 cases that were dealing with the vaping. Okay, and I know middle school, high school, they have, a plan in place. They have that, I guess it's the monitoring. So that's one of the strategies that came out of this.
There was also marijuana.
Okay, and section 6, student performance in post-secondary institution. This is post-secondary performance for the ACC. Again, keep in mind the data for post-secondary institution is lagging by 2 years. So definitely going to see an increase in these numbers for next year, as well as for the high school. This is the report that you'll actually see in the actual table report. And as you can see, we had 52, this is actually for the graduates. We had 52 total high school graduates that pursued higher education. And then for the high school, we had 213. And so I went back because I wanted to see like, okay, great, we have 213 students that are going to college, but how are they doing in college? So I would say over 40% of those students are actually have a C or above. So, but we want those to go higher. Because that kind of indicates like how well are we preparing our students for that post-secondary education.
And are you also getting like, how many of them like actually graduate from the universities or the colleges?
That'll be the 4th year,
If they're state
so it'll be
school.
included in here.
And it has to be from a state school.
So it could be from a private university, but from a state school, it should follow them and present that information.
Right?
Private will not.
No, yeah.
Which we had not been tracking and just started tracking correctly, correct?
And it's very hard, because I used to work for an early college high school, and it's very hard to get all of that information. I mean, they do phone calls, but they send out surveys because they want to know where you're at. So a lot of it is probably still skewed at this time. We don't have like a set system for collecting that information. Okay, and then section 7 is our progress towards meeting our board-adopted HB3 goals. And so those board outcome goals, we talk about, we have goals for early education, we have our goals for the college, career, and military readiness, and then, of course, we've also included in this presentation our district strategic plan, which is those 8 plans. The early education goals, those were set 5 years ago, and so what we've been doing, 5 years ago, they kind of set those goals for, for the district. And so we are slightly under those goals, but we're moving in the right direction. And it's going to be the same for the college, career, and military readiness. Okay? That is about all that I have on the table for today. If there's any questions that you have, I can try to answer those questions. And if I don't have the answers, I will definitely find the answers for you.
No, we're not probably where y'all want us to be, right?
Yeah. And I will say,
But the work in progress
Yes.
and to see where the percentages are now, kudos to y'all,
Right.
everybody.
Thank you. There's a lot of great things going on. I'm proud that, of where we're at and where we're going. But, there's still that continued growth that we need to continue working on.
Thank you, Dr. Shaw.
Any other discussion or questions? No? Okay, that's a public hearing, it's no board action is needed. So now we're on to public comment, Christie. It's
Well, we have to wait.
14.
Close the
Oh,
public
okay,
hearing.
all right. So it is currently 6:14, and that's
Your journey,
adjourning for the public hearing.
that's correct.
All righty,
I'll make that motion that we adjourn the meeting.
okay. Second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion carried 5-0.
So we didn't say we were doing the regular meeting at 6:15, did we?
6:15,
Okay.
yep, so we just
Oh,
need
we're
to
right on
wait
time.
1 minute. Sit tight.
Imagine that, the board gets kudos.
I mean, for us to.
Dr. Shaw,
for us to
too.
be on time.
They don't try to put that on me, though. I'm never done in 15 minutes.
No, we know
No,
better.
we don't let Philip do the table report. That's strategically planned.
No, I'm talking about the.
What?
The other public hearing, I have to do the first
Oh,
and the budget. We always start at 6:45 or 5:45 or whatever. And you always want me to be done in 15 minutes, it's like, it's.
All right, we can go now. We can start the meeting.
Christie, any public?
No public comment.
No public, no. Okay, so I don't have to read the public.
No.
All right, so let's move on to student recognitions.
Will y'all join us?
Swim and dive and UIL
Living in UIL. Who are you doing first, swimming?
We're doing intermediate.
Oh, intermediate medals. Feels good not to be in a booth. Are you-
We're so quiet out there.
They were. Y'all were out there, Miss Rivera?
Yeah, you didn't, we were so quiet the whole hour. We don't want us.
That's a Chrissy question.
Yeah, I didn't know where. Just gonna. I just need these. That's it.
Chrissy, where do you want these scholars?
They can line up going all the way to Mr. Crabtree in that wall. Let's make a line going that way.
Miss
Keep
Jim.
going. Right there.
Y'all look good.
Here, we'll go here, we'll just come around this way. Follow her. We'll take right here. And just follow her along.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
Everything good?
That way.
Nice shoes.
If we have staff sitting, if we can have, make room for the parents, please.
Yeah, we're gonna throw the staff out.
Please make yourself comfortable. We're gonna get the staff out and we'll let you guys have a seat.
Come on in.
They are.
All right, now please, you'll go all the way to the very end too. That'll help, there's room back there.
On this side. They'll come around.
On that side.
And they'll go right there.
How you doing?
Those are real sweet hands.
There's a cardinal.
Give some mama, so someone can help.
Thank y'all for being here.
All the way down.
He's in this cohort. Your boy's in this cohort.
He is, yep. Yes, they're ready.
Awesome to see this many people.
If there's a seat, if you don't mind scooting one over, just so somebody else can have a seat. Please, we still have parents coming.
How y'all doing?
There's a bunch of us.
Yay, that's exciting though. There's one seat there.
How you, sir?
Okay.
You can handle that.
Like the teacher.
Oh my gosh. I'm nervous.
Actually, I'll.
You didn't know you had a talking part, did you, ma'am? Me either.
All right, come on in.
Yes, sir.
Lucas. Well, first off, thank you for being here. It takes a strong partnership between the home and the school to raise kids and educate them. And you being here illustrates that partnership, and we thank you for that. This lady needs no introduction. Ms. Lucas, the principal of the campus. I'm going to let her introduce our teacher sponsor, let her talk a little bit about the UIL program, and then we'll recognize your children and our students. Ms. Lucas?
All right, thank you guys for joining us. We had a tremendous outpouring of students that wanted to participate in our UIL academic events, and so we have Ms. Rivera, who took it on as our coordinator. So she organized all the practices, make sure parents were notified of everything going on. On that actual day, Rivera, there was how many kiddos?
Because we took primary with us too, so we had about 100 kids with us.
Yes, that all met there at like 6 in the morning. Well, you guys know you dropped them off. 6 in the morning. It was dark, it was super cold, it was rainy, but they didn't skip a beat. They came, they competed, and they came back with lots of hardware, so
Yes,
let's go.
absolutely. Okay, hi guys, I am Marina Rivera. This was my first year doing coordinating for UIL, so I really sincerely thank you for your patience because it was my first time, so I'm learning as I go. We had approximately about 80 students at the intermediate that actually competed, and within those 80, about 25 of our students placed top 10. So that's awesome. We did have a lot of other placements as well, top 20, but where we get medals for top 10. So we really wanted to honor these students today. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with our third graders. And we have Miss Gemma Gunter from Ready Writing, and she got 10th place. Shake hands.
Congratulations. Parents, do whatever you need to do to get pictures. We're making some memories tonight.
I'll move out the way. And where do you want them to stand? Just go back around?
Yeah,
or-
because we're gonna take a group picture.
Okay, so you want to just go back around, go back that way? Yeah, perfect.
All right?
All right, then we have Eric Rodriguez. He was in project-based arts. He got 9th place. Good job, Eric. And then we're going to take,
What?
shake hands.
Come here,
This
Eric.
way.
Shake hands with the board.
Where's parents? Let me move out the way for everyone. Congratulations, Eric.
Just stay there.
All right. Now we have Julissa Gomez, also project-based art, and she got 5th place. This way, shake hands. Then we have Mr. Marcel Ramon from Storytelling. And I want to note that he got 6th place in his finals, but with storytelling, they have multiple rounds. So for his first round, he actually was in 2nd place for his group, and then moving on to finals, he ended up with 6th, which is amazing. Alright, then we have, let's see here, I had David Delgado from Chess Puzzle. From Chess Puzzle, you wanna go shake hands, sir? Great job. Then we have Mr. Cole Bussey, who also Chess Puzzle was in 3rd place. Make sure I have yours right here, sir. You get a medal for 3rd. And then I'm gonna call back up David and Cole and Mr. Eli Hernandez. Eli, Cole, and David took 2nd place as a team for Chess Puzzle. Out of, I think there were about 7 or 8 other schools that competed. So 2nd place as a team. Put it on, sir.
Congratulations.
Proud of you. Got your
Congratulations.
medal on. Good deal.
All right, our 4th graders, we have Mr. Wade Yates from Chess Puzzle as well. Wade placed 10th. Great job, Wade. We have Rosalinda Luna. She placed 4th place in Ready Writing. Good job, Rosalind. I'm gonna shake hands, babe.
Already got my videos.
Miss Emily Benavides, she also got 4th place in project-based art. And if I'm in anyone's way, guys, please tell me to move. Congratulations.
We're proud of you.
And then also in project-based art, Miss Rosalie Mendoza, she received 2nd place. Put it on and go shake hands. Congratulations. Moving to our fifth graders, we have Miss Mila Mangren. She scored 10th place in project-based art. You can go around. Very big. We have Caitlin Trejo from Project-Based Art. She scored 8th place. Great job, Caitlin.
Shake your hand.
We have Emily Zapata from Reading. She got 9th place. Great job, Emily. You go right here with her. From Social Studies, we got Zaya Aldaco. She got 9th place. Good job, Zaya. Social Studies. Music Memory, AJ Martinez.
Congratulations, AJ.
Isaac was not able to make it tonight, but he did receive 7th place in listening skills. Then we have Casey Collins from Maps, Charts, and Graphs. We have another from Maps, Charts, and Graphs that wasn't able to make it, Trey. He received 5th place. Then we have our chess puzzle, Mr. Nico Sanchez. He received 10th place. And I'm also, while I have Nico up here, I'm going to go ahead and give him his 3rd team. Yes, Nico, I have your medal here. As a chess team for 5th grade, they took 3rd place. So here's Nico's medal, and then I'm going to invite Cohen Wilson up. Cohen's team, 3rd place. So that's all their points together. So you're going to go around and shake your hands with your members. And Josiah Martinez. Congratulations.
Awesome job.
Proud of you.
And then our 5th grade dictionary skills. They really put in some work in this competition. Our first one is Hazel Braun. She received 7th place in dictionary skills. Beckett Britton, he received 6th place in dictionary skills. Awesome job.
It's a nice look.
And then for our dictionary skills, we had someone who ended up placing 1st place individually, Oscar Medina. 1st place. And I'm going to actually call all of our dictionary skills back up because as a team, they also took 1st place as a team. So Hazel and Oscar. All 3 of you will receive. And Oscar, you get another medal for your team award. Good job. Awesome. Up again. Show your parents real quick your medals behind so they can get a picture.
third graders up here only, third grade, to take a picture with the board. Just gather around them. And Ms. Lucas, Ms. Rivera, we can get you on here. Parents, do what you need to do to come up here. Third grade.
These ones are my third graders. Congratulations. Okay, how do I do this?
Awesome.
Why don't you let them, yeah. Right here, Eli right there. Perfect.
You're good, Ms. Gomez. You're good. All right. There you go, parents. That's a winner right there.
All right, my turn. Okay, go ahead.
You got? Don't go anywhere.
Okay, don't go. Oh,
Come on, get in there and take
Sorry, I'm chasing my daughter
No, it's all right. We're making memories.
1, 2, and 3.
That's a winning picture right there.
All right.
All right? You got fourth grade?
Congratulations, y'all.
Fourth grade?
Fourth grade, I think I have 4 fourth graders.
Fourth grade, come on up here.
Squeeze on in, guys.
All right, parents, do what you need to do. Good smiles. All right, fifth graders.
Chrissy, get the fourth grade.
That was the fourth grade. Oh,
Did
she
Chrissy
did.
get the picture though? I'm sure one of the parents will see it.
Okay.
I get it. Just make sure Chrissy gets it. Squeeze in, guys. Oh, we're gonna have to leave this kiddos. Let's see, we might have to do some rearranging. Got him in a big group.
All right, fifth grade parents, get where you need to get.
Oscar, why don't you and Hazel switch, babe? Let her go in the front. There you go. There we go.
Big smiles. Get your hands out of your pocket. There you go. Wow.
We got them all in there?
Yeah. You gotta get fourth grade.
In 4th grade?
You need to get it from a parent.
All right, don't move.
Don't go anywhere.
I'll get one from the fourth grade parent.
Okay, thank you. All right, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Got it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, parents. Appreciate you. Yes, you're going to the groundbreaking. I don't think you know that.
I think they're gonna.
We're taking the juice. That's next week. You're welcome. Thank you. Great job. First place. Congratulations. Attaboy, Jan. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank y'all for coming.
Good turnout. Let me get your
Good job.
Picture with the superintendent.
Thank you.
Can I get a picture with you?
I'd love that. I'd be honored.
Congratulations.
He was my offensive coordinator.
Thanks for having my kid.
Straight through here. Yeah. What do I know, really?
Appreciate it, sir. Congratulations.
Extra large.
Hey, Coach.
I like your sweater.
Oh, you like it?
That's cool.
Right? I'm gonna have
You're
you
fine.
do it here. Someone that.
Have to crawl on top of the chairs.
All right, this lady needs no introduction. Coach, you want to come over here and talk about your kids and your program that, we're really proud of you and the kids.
This is just the state qualifiers. They also were district champions at both the boys and the girls. At regional.
Yay!
At regionals, they were region runner-ups for the girls. For the boys region, no. Or were we fourth? Fourth.
That's still.
So they did great. At state, the boys finished 7th. At state, and the girls finished 12th, so they kind of flip-flopped there. But they did an outstanding job, very proud of them. And These are our state qualifiers.
You do a fantastic job.
I have a question. Do we walk around this way or this way?
Come over here, get this, and then walk around this way.
She's like,
And then we'll take
she didn't like being first.
You're first. And then we'll take a group picture, okay?
Sound good? Okay, so this is Annabelle Griffin. She qualified at state in the 200 medley relay. Next is my senior, Liana Lasso. She qualified in the 200 medley and the 400 free relay. And we have another senior, Allison Bettis, who qualified also in the 200 medley and the 400 free relay.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And next is a freshman, Sophia Rodriguez. She qualified in the 200 medley, the 400 free, and the 100 backstroke.
Future smiles.
Next is our sophomore, Gabriela Santiago. She qualified in the 400 free relay.
The shirts. I like your nails.
And next is Avery Watkins. She qualified in 1 meter diving. She was our one lone diver. She's a freshman.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you.
And our last girl swimmer is Aubrey Wilson, and she qualified in the 200 medley, 400 free, and the 100 breaststroke, and she's also a freshman. Next, we'll go to the boys' team is Edgar Hernandez. He's a senior. He qualified in the 200 medley and the 400 free relay. Next is our junior, Gernard Morin, qualified on the 400 free relay and the 200 medley relay. Sophomore, I'm sorry, I tried to, he's very mature.
Congratulations.
I know, I kept looking at him like. Next is Sebastian Ramon. He was a state qualifier 200 medley relay. Freshman also.
Strong freshman.
Congratulations.
And our last big boy over here is Jared Skarupa. He's a sophomore. He qualified in the 200 medley, the 200 IM, the 100 breaststroke, and the 400 free relay.
Are you good? Keep it up.
You remember.
Someone.
They're babies.
Let's get a picture.
Come on back. Come on back.
Coach, get in there, Red.
You're fine.
Shall we do girls and boys or just the girls?
Everybody, come on.
We're gonna, yeah, you're gonna like really squat.
Avery.
The boys.
Yeah.
Find a winner.
Let's grab like, ladies, we're gonna have a squat.
Take a picture. Squat down, squat.
You're not gonna die.
Bend down, go down on your knees. Like you're.
A little more.
Come on, guys, you gotta squat down too.
There you go.
On the ground. Ready to squat.
Yeah.
Good torn muscle. 1, 2, 3.
And then she's gonna go.
Yeah, let me go.
Y'all can stand up for just, oh, there she is, there she is. Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's, certificates, make sure they're right. 1, there we go. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Got it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jared. Proud of you, kids.
Congratulations.
Oh, my bad.
Bring her back for another.
Bring her
I
back.
know Avery never got her certificate.
Thank you.
Good idea. Thank you.
Thank you. They grow up, don't they, Coach? They do.
You were here too. Man, you worked out perfect for you. Got them both.
We're reconvening from our first closed meeting of the evening. Current time is 7:14. So the next item is to discuss and consider regarding retention of KOR Group.
I do, Mr. President, members of the board, it is the administration's recommendation that the board approve the retention of KOR Group as presented.
Okay, do we have a motion for that?
I'll make the motion to consider regarding retention of the KOR group.
Okay, motion by Kim, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Lottie, second that. Okay, we have a vote, all in favor of that consideration? Okay, the vote is 5-0,
Thank you.
all in favor? All right, to the next item, good stuff. Discuss and consider guaranteed maximum price for the CTE building.
Mr. President, members of the board, this represents almost 2 years' worth of work, planning the November 2023 bond, as well as the collaboration that's gone into it between our architects, our general contractor, our campus, and our teachers. Today, we're hoping to move forward with your approval of a GMP for the CTE building. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Hernandez and let him run the presentation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Just wanted, like Mr. Van Matry said, it's been over almost 2 years in the process, just to give you an update, because only 2 of y'all were on the board at the time. So we passed the bond in November of 2023. On February 1st of 2024, the board took our recommendation and approved VLK. We got Mr. Mike Martinez and Liliana Socha representing. And they were the approved architects for the project. On July 17th of 2024, we issued a bid packet for the construction of the CTE and the natatorium renovations. On August the 6th, they had a proposal meeting. It was held on site. We had prospective bidders come and visit. On August 27th of 2024, we received the statements of qualifications and the price proposals for 3 firms. And then on September the 16th, the board took action and approved the recommendation for Fulton Construction to be the construction manager at risk for the CTE and the natatorium renovations. And we have Roger there representing Fulton Construction. On February the 20th of 2025, last month, or 2 months ago, the bids closed for all trades and equipments for the construction of the CTE building, and Fulton has come to a guaranteed maximum price for this project. We just kind of give you a brief recap. We're going to show you a video of what the CTE is going to look like, just to refresh your memory. All right, at this time, I'm very pleased to announce that through the hard work of VLK and their design process and Fulton Construction and their relationship with their subcontractors, that we were able to come to a guaranteed maximum price within our budget. This has never happened for a project this size since I've been here 17 years with TM. This is a first. I'm so excited that we're able to do this. We didn't have to value engineer anything out. We did make a few minor tweaks, but it was changes in the brick, the design of the brick, but you won't even notice those. I'm just so happy to do this. If there's any questions, I have VLK and Fulton here, and I'll let Mr. Van Mater.
Yeah, Michael and Roger, can you talk a little bit about the project? And Lily?
Well, it's an incredible project. We were very, very excited that we were given the opportunity to do this project with you guys. It was a tremendous experience with Mr. Alvarado and his staff to go through and also Coach Alanis doing the natatorium upgrades. That was a lot of fun. It's going to be an awesome project, and we're very excited to. We've started construction on the natatorium, and we're getting ready to start construction on CTE, so it's very exciting.
And when are we looking at the project being done? Approximately.
Lily.
I won't hold you to it. Just approximately.
Lily's gonna get her book of omnipotence.
That's the magic book.
Yeah. October of 26, right? 26?
Yes.
Very
Next year.
impressive. That's exciting.
Yes. Roger, do you have anything? You all did a great job so far.
Yes, sir. We really appreciate it, and thank y'all for the opportunity, and we'll see y'all at the ribbon cutting. We're excited.
Absolutely.
We have the ribbon cutting.
All right, are there any other questions or anything?
No, just awesome job.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Anywhere we
deal.
can save money
Big deal.
is awesome.
Anything else? Okay, Mr. Van Matry, do you have a recommendation?
I
for the board?
certainly do. Mr. President, members of the board, it is the administration's proud recommendation that the board authorize a contract with Fulton Construction for the Tolosa Midway ISD High School Career and Technical Education Building with a guaranteed maximum price of $30,737,605.
All right, do we have a motion for that recommendation?
I'll move that we approve the contract with Fulton Construction with that guaranteed maximum price. So noted.
A second? All right, Brian? Okay, so everyone in favor of a vote? Motion carries 5-0.
That's
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, y'all.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You guys have a great evening.
That's a big deal. It's a big deal. This is what, it has to be super satisfying to be on the board for something like this. This is a game changer for TM.
No doubt.
Okay, next item is to discuss and consider the approval of out-of-state field trip request for TMHS Business Professionals of America students to attend the BPA National Leadership Conference in Orlando, Florida, May 7th to May 11th.
Mr. Alvarado?
Thank you, everyone. This trip is for 2 students who qualified to go to nationals for BPA. We are asking that you approve them to go compete at that competition as well as attend the Leadership Academy. They'll be traveling with their sponsor, Jonathan Galvan, and Mrs. De La Vina, because both of they're 2 young ladies that made it to nationals.
How's it gonna be paid for? Because it's not marked.
Believe most of it is coming from their fundraising efforts, and then some will be some district funds as well.
It's a combination of fundraising, maybe a little bit of CT money, and beyond district funds.
And how much is that gonna be? Do you know?
I don't know. Right, you should, estimate should be on the
9.
form.
It's right here.
Well, no, I know how much the.
Oh, she's
the
wanting to
total, But
know.
I'm saying is like break
I don't
it,
know,
break
I don't
the,
know the division, what, well, pretty good is the CTE department, whatever they can contribute from their budget, and then whatever the activity fund, whatever they've raised through activity funds, and then whatever the difference is, I'll kick in with the beyond district funds. But I do not know the breakdown yet.
And the beyond district funds is when they go past district to a competition like this above district.
Is this a first?
It's been the first in a very long time. Coach Galvin has really done a good job of bringing BPA back to what it used to be when Mr. Bravo was here.
There's been, we've had national champions in BPA, we've had people that have won nationals before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And two very capable young ladies who could probably do so.
Outstanding. All right. Anybody have any other questions, or Mr. Van Matry, your recommendation?
I do. It is the administration's recommendation that the board approve the out-of-state field trip request for the Tolosa Midway High School Business Professionals of America students to attend the BPA National Leadership Conference in Orlando, Florida, May 7th through 11th, 2025, as presented.
All right, do we have a motion on that item? Anyone?
I'll move that we approve the out-of-state field trip request for the BPA National Leadership Conference in Orlando.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, can we get a vote? All in favor? Okay, motion carries 5-0. All righty, here we go, travel and leisure again. Number 4, discuss and consider approval of out-of-state field trip request for TMHS speech and debate students to attend national tournament in Des Moines, Iowa, June 14th through the 21st, 2025.
Mr. Alvarado?
Thank you again. Once again, these are students, our speech and debate students, a different group of kids. The same two girls are actually going as well, because these are all speaking events. But this one is for students who qualified for nationals through speech and debate. They have to get a certain amount of points to compete at nationals. These are all the students who have earned those points. And once again, it's a combination of local funds and beyond district.
And there's 18 students going?
At the moment, but with cheer tryouts and things of that nature, that might change.
Okay.
oh, so it's not 10 to 15, it's 18 students?
No, so it's 10 to 15, but that number is probably gonna go down as kids qualify for other things. They might have to make a choice of which one they're going to go to.
Cheer camps during this time.
Cheer camp, and then you've got those kids going to Miss Gray's event as well, the one that they go to.
International?
International. So this is the maximum amount, but we're anticipating 10 to 15.
Okay, so even at that 25,000 is not even, it's not set just yet,
Not
'cause-
just it, that's the guaranteed maximum price. Talking about
Guaranteed maximum prize. Good job.
Okay.
Any other questions? Mr. Van Matry, you have a recommendation?
I do,
for us?
Mr. President, members of the board. It is the administration's recommendation that the board approve the out-of-state field trip request for the Tolosa Midway High School speech and debate students to attend the national tournament in Des Moines, Iowa, June 14th through 21st, 2025, as presented.
All right. Anyone want to make a motion on that item?
I move that the board approve the out-of-state field trip request for TMHS speech and debate students to attend the national tournament in Des Moines, Iowa, June 14th through the 21st, 2025.
All right, do I get a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Item number 5, discuss and consider approval of out-of-state field trip request for TMHS Theater Arts students to attend the International Thespian Festival in Bloomington, Indiana, June 22nd through 28th, 2025.
Mr. Alvarado?
This is the same thing, these students had their state tournament here in Corpus. So we had several kids who qualified at the state level who are now get to move on to nationals. Nationals is once again there. Same with recruiting students at this time, but as students will drop down because commitments and things of that nature. So, but these are, most of their funds though are covered by the actual program, theater program, through their various fundraisers.
And you said what, I'm sorry, that most of it is through what, Mr. Alvarado?
Ms. Pratt has raised the majority of the money.
Any other questions? Mr. Van Matry?
Mr. President, I think this is our last trip for this month. It is the administration's recommendation that the board approve the out-of-state field trip request for the Tolosa Midway High School Theater Arts students to attend the International Thespian Festival in Bloomington, Indiana, June 22nd through 28th, 2025, as presented.
Okay, do we have a motion on that item?
I'll do it. I move that we approve the out-of-state field trip request for TMHS Theater Arts students to attend the International Thespian Festival in Bloomington, Indiana, June 22nd to 28th, 2025.
I'll second that.
All right, Kim seconds that. All right, we have a vote. All in favor? 5-0. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Alvarado.
Thank you for your continued support.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on our agenda, item number 6, report for T-Chat program.
Mr. President, members of the board, I don't know if you all have met Miss Amanda Moogie. She does a terrific job at Tolosa Midway High School as our social worker. She doesn't work exclusively with high school students. She also works with children across the district. And she is the liaison for T-Chat program. And mental health is an acute issue in all districts across the state for obvious reasons. And we're fortunate to have Ms. Moogie in this program that I wanted to bring awareness to the board. Ms. Moogie?
Thank you. Good evening, guys. So T-Chat is a program that's funded by the state of Texas. It's grant funded. It's the Texas Child Health Access through telehealth, well, telemedicine. This is our first year to have. So essentially they use an iPad to offer services, and this is our first year that we've had it on all of the campuses. We finally got it on our ACC campus, thanks to our administrator over there. And so we see kids, well, they see kids from the pre-K level all the way up to whenever they get done with ACC. And so every student can qualify for the service. It's free to all students. There are some barriers that have come along the way for some students. For instance, I had a family who lived with grandparents, and there was no court order that they could live with grandparents. So T-Chat acts like a doctor's office, and if they didn't have a court order that stated that they could see those kids, or that they could agree to provide services as far as medical services go. So there was a family that wasn't able to participate in those services, so I offered services to those kids. But otherwise, as long as both parents are on board and consent to services, then the student can receive services. If there's a parent missing, like a dad, but he doesn't have his rights terminated to make medical decisions, that becomes a barrier too. But outside of that, the service is free to all the kids. It occurs on campus during the school day, so they don't have to leave campus. They're pulled like a doctor's office, so the kid comes down to the office, we clock them or log them in, make communication with the health provider, and then they provide them behind closed doors services. And then when their session's over, they can get a doctor's excuse, so they're excused for that period over, and then they go on about their day. So it's very helpful for both families and students. We service probably about anywhere from 20 to 25 kids across the district. Intermediate is our high population campus. At the pre-K level, well, from like pre-K to second grade, they have to have a parent that's there on the video chat the whole time or in the room with the student, and so that makes it difficult for those little kids. So they don't always do as many at the primary level. Intermediate's got a high population that sees those services. Middle school's a little more difficult. Those kids don't necessarily want to talk to a screen, even though there's another person on the other side. I know middle school utilizes a lot of community resources within our community that come onto their campus and provide those services. And then at the high school, they primarily have me, although if it's outside of my scope or if they're wanting something more confidential or not by an employee of the school district, then I refer them out. And so that's pretty much what TCHAT does. It's a really great program. They typically do like short-term services anywhere for 6 to 12 sessions, and then after 6 to 12 sessions, they either terminate services or they refer them out to a local community resource. So it just depends on what the family's needs are and what the child's needs are. They also offer, outside of therapy, they also offer a component of psychiatric services, which is huge in this area because we're in a shortage of psychiatrists. And so if the child needs psychiatric services, then they can get those services through TCHAT. The other barrier to TCHAT services is if they have a therapist on the outside, they don't qualify for the service, if they don't want a dual license, dual dipping, but they can still qualify for the psychiatric services if they don't have a psychiatrist. So that's pretty much what they do in a nutshell. If you have any questions?
Are the kids able to get the services as soon as they need them, or do we have a wait list?
It's really primarily based on the parents. So I can refer out, but they work like a doctor's office, so they're not gonna communicate with me, they communicate with the parent. So it's how quickly the parent responds to them, completes the paperwork, does their initial appointments, like an assessment, and the parent has to participate either in person or also on screen. And so it's really based on the parent's participation. So usually if the parent's willing to participate, it's about a 2-week wait. Maybe 4 weeks at the most, but usually within 2 to 4 weeks, which is pretty good considering in this area, the wait list can be months to see a therapist. Yeah.
6 months right now.
Yeah, easily.
And Ms. Mugi, are these students, are they recommended by faculty, or how do they?
It just depends on what campus they're on. So on my campus, primarily I provide mental health services for many of our students. However, again, if it's outside of my scope or whatever, or depending on the circumstances, I may refer them out. Counselors can refer them, parents can self-request, kids can self-request, although they have to involve their parent in the situation, so if they're not 18. At the ACC campus, we do have students that are over the age of 18 that consent to their own services, and some at the high school. But primarily, it's through the counselors for the most part.
Okay, so they see an issue perhaps that we need to address, and then they
So what happens if I'm sorry. So what happens if, say, a high school student who's under the age of 18 wants to come and get help, but doesn't want to include their parents because they just feel like maybe the parents are their issue, so they want to get help, but they can't involve their parent because the parent is part of the problem. So what would you do there?
So as far as TCHAT goes, they run like a doctor's office. So period, point blank, it's got to be the parent. For me, as far as services go, I usually ask the student, can we call mom and dad and talk to them? We don't have to tell them that they're the problem, right? And kind of discuss what their options are. A lot of times parents are willing to because they don't have to take the kid off campus and get them services, and they know their kid needs services even if they don't recognize they're the problem. And so a lot of times it's just talking to that parent, having them sign the consent form, and then I start working with them. And if I notice like, hey, like your kid would benefit for some additional services, it's free. So that's kind of how we go about getting them the services. Yeah.
Okay.
That's an awesome program.
Yeah, so that's good.
Awesome program.
We're grateful to have it.
Yeah. Kids in need
We're
of
grateful to have you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I love working with the kids.
Yeah. Great job.
Any other questions, discussion? Okay, thank you, Ms. Maggie. It's a report only, no board action needed. Item number 7, report transitioning the primary campus to high-quality instruction material for reading.
Mr. President, members of the board, we are moving for complete and total vertical alignment between our 2 elementary campuses. This will do that, and with this to talk about that initiative, which we will roll out in July of 2025, is Dr. Allison Shum And Mr. Crabtree.
Hello again.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you.
So Mr. Crabtree is passing out our presentation, and those are actually our kids. Those are classroom snapshots from classroom visits at the primary. So like Mr. Van Matry said, today, twofold. The purpose of today's presentation is to share with the board members our plan for rolling out this HQIM plan for the primary. And of course, number two is to be transparent, to keep everyone in the loop, so we kind of know what's going on. And this is instruction. It's important, and we know that going this route is going to be the best decision for our students. Okay. So again, just kind of reiterate, we're going to roll out the transition plan for implementing HQIM for reading in grades K2. This will broadly outline the key action steps that will be essential for a successful rollout. And we're actually starting that, as you'll see in our timeline, like right now.
Mr. Van Matry mentioned something about our K through 5, and we all know the importance of reading inside the classroom, but what we really focused on is, what does third grade look like? Are they behind the ball? Are they in front of it? And in order for students to be successful, we all know that they have to be at or above reading level before they leave second grade. So this process will help us make sure that all of our second graders going on to third grade are right on track. They already know what to expect. The curriculum's not gonna, it'll get harder, but it's not gonna be different. They already know what to expect, the pacing of the lesson and that rigor that it's gonna take to be successful.
Okay, so for tonight, we're going to talk about the action steps for implementation. We're going to go over these 3 key steps. The first one is selection of HQIM for reading. Number 2 is, what are we doing to prepare for this launch? And number 3, what support will be provided for our teachers as they use this brand new curriculum? Okay, so action steps for implementation. First of all, let me define what is HQIM. HQIM, what it means is that it is 100% TEKS aligned. In the past, publishers could get, on the approved list, even with 80% of their TEKS being covered in a textbook. In order for it to be HQIM, the text, the curriculum, the instruction has to be 100% TEKS aligned to that grade level. That is a non-negotiable. In addition, it is research-based. These are best practices over the years. We learn more. And so that's another criteria. It has to be research-based. A third criteria is that it has to be able to support all learners. We're not just talking about, your gen ed. We have to have your ESL, your SPED, your bilinguals, your GT. You have to make sure that you're able to provide that instruction to all different types of learners. The last one is support for teachers. There's been this, like a shift, it's a change. In the past, teachers were, planning and, pulling from various resources. This new curriculum now, it's there. The lesson plans are there. The focus has shifted now for teachers to internalize the lesson plans. Now, it doesn't mean that it's scripted. They can still, it's like that movie Chopped. Everyone has the same ingredients in their basket, but when they go to their classroom, you might create a souffle, you might create another dish, but you all have the same ingredients. And so that's where teachers add their own flair to their lessons. So that takes, we've been a teacher before, cutting and pasting and Googling and, just everything is right there at their fingertips. And then the last thing is that constant progress monitoring. The new HQIM allows for teachers to assess, are students actually learning? There's that part of it. It's quantitative now. They have to be able to monitor to make sure that students are understanding. So that is when we talk about HQIM, That's what it means. It encompasses all of those criteria. So a little bit of background. 2 years ago, we actually considered using HQIM in the lower grades. The thing is that in the lower grades, teachers are self-contained. So it was much easier to make that transition at the intermediate because the teachers were departmentalized. So if we were rolling out a reading curriculum, well then that was just one curriculum they had to actually, get to know. Or if you're a math teacher, then you're focusing on Eureka. But that was not the case at the primary. So 2 years ago, we decided, you know what? We're gonna roll out Eureka. So we are K-5 aligned with our math curriculum. And let me tell you, the data is showing that it is actually working. That alignment is so critical as the students move up the different grade levels.
Actually, we're K-8, aren't we?
Well,
with
K-8 or Carnegie.
Yeah.
So.
But again, HQIM.
Yes, HQIM. And so at that time, we were also implementing a new phonics program at the primary. So that was going to be 2 new programs that we were rolling out at the same time for our primary teachers. We did not want to overwhelm them. So, we continued with our wonders, doing the best that we could and doing a great job. But now that they hang, they're doing a great job with Eureka. We've been in the classroom with fidelity. I mean, teachers are using the curriculum and they're doing a good job. So now.
And I want to say this too, when a teacher gets a new curriculum, they go through all the stages of grief. Like, I like the old stuff now. They used to complain about it, now they love it. Like, why do we have to change again? It's that fear of change. So now our teachers have confidence that they can be successful with any new program because they were allowed their 2 years to really dive in deep into the curriculum. As an elementary teacher, seeing my wife plan every night, to see our teachers plan every night, for 1 day of reading instruction, it takes a teacher to internalize 3 to 4 hours for one lesson. Because they're really tearing it apart, where the student's gonna struggle, predicting it, what vocabulary they can reproduce, what book do I need to pull out of my bag of tricks to help them really understand this, where's the vocabulary coming from, it takes a lot of time. So to do 2 at one time, they could do it, but what level? What quality are we gonna have? So I'm really grateful, without even being here in the past, that they were given that time to get their foundations in math. So now we're ready to go on to the reading portion. So we're very excited.
Well, and they teach every subject during the day, right? Every single subject.
So that's why, and now they're comfortable, so now we're ready to make that move and provide that HQIM for reading. So right now, the lower grades, 3 through 8, they're using Amplify. And so we'd had discussion about, well, do we stay with Amplify or do we go with the new HQIM, which is Bluebonnet, which is Texas new curriculum, okay? So we, and then also we have to consider the DLI program. So with Bluebonnet, there's this whole new process with the State Board of Education. So with the State Board of Education, they're kind of like revamping it. Back then, you used to have like your proclamation, and you would adopt a curriculum for 8 years. That is no longer the case. The State Board of Education now will be reviewing materials every year moving on. And so they will stamp it as HQIM. So there's this whole new list of HQIM materials. So Bluebonnet is the state's curriculum. And so with Bluebonnet, it is only available K through 5. So middle school will stay with Amplify until they have Bluebonnet as their HQIM curriculum. Right now, there is no Spanish for the English component, so they will continue with Amplify. And I'll talk a little bit about the changes. So we'll continue with Amplify for Spanish. Last Friday, we met with the principals and I shared with them the alignment, the differences between Amplify and Bluebonnet. And there's not, I mean, the framework is the same for teaching. And some of the topics have kind of like shifted a little bit, but it's pretty much similar.
But what we noticed on the alignment is Amplify is good stuff, but it's not all of our TEKs. And they can be in a different order, kind of awkward, that we have to adjust on our own. Bluebonnet is Star 2.0 aligned. It's ready to go. And our teachers who've seen it are like, oh, this makes more sense. It's in a more logical teacher pace. And a lot of times with Amplify, they're on a 202-day student calendar. We're on 175, so they're pushing. They're like cutting corners to get everything to fit. Bluebonnet's set for 175 student days. So the pace is right on track. And that's what we really liked about the Bluebonnet is the pace of the lesson. Here's a small example. Native American cultures was going to be taught in Amplify in February. With Bluebonnet, it's taught in November, right around Thanksgiving. It's logical for Texas and what we do. Texas Public Schools Week, it has a Texas unit. Things fit more logically in our TEKs. So that's why they were very excited. With the Spanish, with our dual language, we were very protective, like it has to be high quality. So with Amplify, we're going to keep the Amplify going, or use Amplify for our K2, and they're gonna keep it in third grade too for all of our dual language until Bluebonnet's ready. Whenever, because right now they're still trying to get the English stuff finished up, so they're not ready for the Spanish. But we are giving our teachers, our dual language teachers, some grace and some extra planning time so they can align it to the Bluebonnet as close as they can, rearrange it a little bit and make it fit with our successful dual language program. We don't want to go backwards. We have to keep moving forwards with that. We're excited about that partnership with third grade to get them continuing with this process.
So the dual language program will move over to Bluebonnet once it's available.
And once everything is available.
Right.
If the first day of school, they're not ready yet, we'll keep Amplify another year. But we don't want to just turn it loose if it's not ready. It has to be, it says it has to be high quality. Because if not, our kids are flying through. So we want to make sure it's ready for us.
There's a pilot right now, we just don't want our kids to be the guinea pigs. So we're gonna wait until they work out all the kinks and then we'll
Yes.
move in that direction.
We don't want our teachers waiting for materials. And I've seen that happen with pilots. Like you're waiting, you're like, oh, the unit started 2 days ago, we still don't have our stuff. So we don't want to wait.
So we were awarded the LASSO planning grant. It was $140,000. And so with that LASSO grant, if we wanted to use a Bluebonnet, we have to develop a transition plan. And so we will be working on that transition plan in the next coming months. And basically what you're doing in that plan is you're basically rolling out or you're describing everyone's responsibility in the rollout of the new curriculum at the primary. So at that time, we'll share that transition plan with you because it also has to come to the board for approval, so you'll get to see that. I'm gonna let Mr. Crabtree talk about the second bullet.
Yes. So the next part of this transition plan is collaborating with teachers, admin, and central admin. So we've all been working very tightly, visiting other schools, seeing everything we need to do. Because whenever you're transitioning a curriculum, the most important stakeholder right now is teachers. They have to have buy-in, they gotta feel confident, they gotta feel they're gonna be supported. And we have to not just tell them, we have to show them that we're gonna give them those supports. And what supports they need the most is time. So the first part is developing a master schedule. We've already pulled next year's schedule out. We've identified all of our professional development days, intersessions, how we can pull the teachers in more to have that time to plan. And not just waiting till July. They need to start with the hands on the materials now. So that way, whenever they leave for the summer, they have that confidence. I can do this, I have what I need. If I choose to work in the summer, which some do, some don't, but they have all the tools they need to be ready in July. And when July starts, our teachers need to come in and they need to get the time. They need time to sit down with their curriculum and work it out. Because that's the only way they're gonna be successful. That's the most important thing that we can give them. The next part is departmentalizing grade levels. We've just talked about how traditionally, actually I say that, primary's gone back and forth. Few of our first grade teachers remember departmentalizing first grade, and a lot of our second grade teachers did as well. With the soon junior high coming and second grade going up to the intermediate, we need to get them ready. We need to get them STAR ready, we need to get them reader ready. So we have made a decision, our teachers have, that they want to go second grade departmentalized next year in order to give our teachers enough time to internalize. In order to really focus on the reading, we need to have our teachers doing that. What departmentalizing means for anyone who's not as familiar with that it's team teaching. You're basically gonna have one teacher teaching the reading, the other teacher's teaching the math, science, and social studies. That's how big of a gap it is in time. Reading is a minimum of 120 minutes a day, that's 2 hours of reading minimum. And then math is 90, and then your other hour is your science and social studies. So one teacher would plan the reading, one teacher would do the math, science, and social studies. And I had a meeting with teachers today, and I was like, does anyone feel that's fair? And the reading teachers were like, I know it's only one, takes more time to plan the reading than all the other subjects. Because they're doing writing, phonics, knowledge, skills. It's a lot. It's like 4 separate lesson plans. So that's gonna be that breakup in time for second grade. In first grade, we were on the fence about doing first grade. But I think they even said, let's see what second grade does with it. So we're gonna give them, they're gonna be our pilot. And they wanna watch second grade very carefully. And so what can we do for our kinder and first grade teams that don't have as much time they're planning everything, they're teaching everything, is we're giving them more embedded time to plan. Through the instructional days on the calendar, once a week they're having an extra planning day. We've already worked it out how we can do that to give them an extra hour a week to plan together as a team and doing other creative things to give them all the tools they need.
Awesome. And then with part of that LASSO grant, we'll be able to have funds, like if we wanted to give them a day to plan, we have the funds to pay for the subs, or if they want to come during an intersession, we will be able to have the funds to pay them so that they can come and plan and get ahead. Another crucial part or a reason why we're having these discussions is because we have to order the materials. As a year-round campus, we start school in July, and so we gotta get on it. And so, talking with TA, teachers will be able to have access to the digital platform. And then because it's HQIM, there's 2 additional buckets. In the past, you only had 1 bucket, which was your EMAT, where you purchased all of your curriculum, instructional books. Now, because it's HQIM, you have 2 additional buckets. You get funding if you're purchasing HQIM, and then that 3rd bucket is OER, which means for printing. So you start off with the OER bucket first, and when you deplete that one, then you'll move over to the HQIM, and then you kind of leave that EMAT, the first bucket, for other instructional materials to be purchased for the district. So it's 40-20. And it's not just like if primary uses it, you get $20 per student. It's $20 for the enrollment of the district. So that is another perk of why we want to go HQIM, because there's a lot of benefits. So right now, in the past, when we started out with Amplify, we didn't have the materials right there on day one, but we were able to make, the copies for the teachers. They didn't have to do anything. C&I department took care of all of that for them, so they can, I'm a paper person, so I know they're gonna want a paper TE, so we can do that if they're not here on time, because, like I said, it's a brand-new curriculum that everyone in the state of Texas that's going in that direction will be using. But they will have digital access.
And actually, we're gonna lead a PLC next week to make sure every teacher creates their free account. TA opened it up for all certified teachers. They just need their ID number, and they can create a free account so they can already get access. Half my teachers already did it.
Yes.
They're eager. They just
Earlier
ran
the
it.
better,
Yes.
right?
So we're gonna show them how to maneuver around the website, how to start looking at that, because they're very eager to get started, and they know, I think they learned through Eureka, they wish they would have started earlier and started asking those questions. So they're living in 2 worlds right now, but they're excited.
And so we'll have our instructional facilitators as well, help them navigate through this new curriculum as well. So that'll be another support.
Okay, and finally, embedding planning time, we already talked about that, embedding extra time for them to plan and internalize. You're gonna hear that a lot. It's not just enough to write it out, they have to internalize where the needs are gonna be and be prepared for our students by asking tier 3 questioning. It's not just yes or no questions, having students talk to each other, really having that peer conversation. Ongoing PD throughout the year, reading instructional facilitators, and also modeling lessons. We're very excited. Ms. Lucas and I have been talking a lot about our first and second grade teachers, and even kinder, going up to 3rd grade and witnessing what Amplify looks like this year to kind of know where our students' trajectory needs to land. So, and then modeling lessons for each other. If you have showcase, they need to go see each other. And they've been doing that this year, but they're more excited to even do it next year more often.
And so even like at the elementary, we have a lot of good teachers that are actually doing a really good job with the amplified curriculum, so having them go down and model for those teachers. I'm a visual learner. I like to see it in action. It's one thing to read it, but to see it, how it all comes together is another thing. And so teachers have expressed that to us. Okay?
And this final page, this is kind of like, this is the roadmap. This is every month from now through the beginning of the school and where we're at. So in March, we're decision-making, our teachers are giving input. In April, we're looking at funding and planning out how it's gonna look. Starting our training in May, professional development through the summer, and then planning and internalization. This is kind of the roadmap, because the thing that can make a program like this fail is fear of the unknown and that reluctance that people get to change. So they have a clear roadmap on where we're going and our why we're doing it. We're gonna have that buy-in. And I'm very excited because our teachers are speaking very, very upbeat and positive. And some of those people who are kind of like, they like the old way, they're looking around like, I'm gonna be by myself, I better get on board. And they are. And they're excited. They're excited that they're gonna give time during the instructional day to do it. They're not expected to do it after hours or not to be paid or anything like that. So,
They already do so much after hours.
yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
No, that's a big deal. I agree, big deal.
Any questions?
It's exciting.
I'm excited. Because that alignment, that continuity is going to be a seamless transition. I think we'll be able to have more vertical alignment because they're on the same page. And so I'm excited for that.
Very well done. Thank you. Proud of
Nicely
you.
done, thank you all. Okay, that was a report only, there's no board action. Okay, agenda item number 8, discuss and consider the second reading of the TN Parent Code of Conduct.
Mr. President, members of the board, what I've done, and I haven't had any comments between our last board meeting, is I've married the two and put it TMISDized, and it's ready to go for your consideration and possible approval.
Discussion or comments, questions?
Has the administrators, have they had a chance to look at it and
They
how do
have.
they feel? So, I mean, be okay?
Yes, sir.
Hopefully with it being in place, we won't ever have to enforce it, right?
Alrighty. Mr. Van Matre, do you have a recommendation?
I do, Mr. President, members of the board. It is the administration's recommendation that the board approve the second reading of the Tolosa Midway Parent Code of Conduct as presented.
Do I have a motion for this item? I'll make that motion.
Yeah. Congratulations, Lynn.
You have a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Chapman? All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Alrighty, next item on the agenda, number 9, discuss and consider the second reading of TASB Update 124.
Mr. President, members of the board, this is recommendations from TASB. I did not field any questions. There's nothing controversial that I see. And as you know, we require 2 readings. And this is the second reading for TASB Update 124 as presented.
Anybody, any questions, comments? Once again, Mr. Van Matre, a recommendation for us?
Certainly, Mr. President, members of the board, it is the administration's recommendation that the board approve the second reading of the TASB Update 124.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion, that we approve the second reading of the TASB Update 124.
I'll second that.
Second, Kim? Okay, all in favor? All right, motion carries 5-0. All right, finally, item number 10, discuss and consider the nomination of a candidate for TASB Board Position Region 2.
Mr. President, members of the board, and Ms. Castillo, you can help me with this. You can nominate yourself from our board to be on the board, TASB Board of Directors for Region 2. And this is the initial process to move forward with that. Have we had a trustee on the Board of Directors?
Not that I'm aware of.
Paul Mostella wasn't ever on.
No. Not, well, to my knowledge.
Anybody interested in taking on more?
The board discussion only,
Oh,
no
okay.
administrative action, no administrative recommendation. I'm not gonna,
Well,
I certainly am not gonna make a nomination.
well, Christie said we still had more time.
Yes, in the email that they sent from TASB, they did state that the incumbent, Mr. Moses Alvaro, is seeking re-election. He is based out of Mathis
I think he
ISD.
is, yes, he's been on the, for several years.
Yeah, he's PhD, I think. Okay, so no board discussion only, no administrative recommendations, so we still have some time, I guess.
Yes.
Move along to the next item, is discuss and consider approval of the consent agenda informational items. Check payment register, anybody have any questions or comments? February 2025 financials. Tax collection report. Enrollment report. Regular and special call board meeting minutes. Okay, Mr. Delmatri?
Mr. President, members of the board, it is the administration's recommendation that the board approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, do we have a motion by anyone to approve the consent agenda?
I'll say, or you, I move that we approve the consent agenda's informational items.
I'll second those.
Okay. All right, all in favor? Motion carries 5-0. Okay, so we're done with that. Now it's time to go into closed session. The board will convene in closed session meeting as authorized by the Texas Open Meetings Act to discuss items allowed by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551.071, .076, .082, .0821, .083, and .084. The time is currently 8:09 p.m. Okay, we're reconvening from closed meeting. Current time is 8:53 p.m. And we're going to take action resulting from closed session deliberation.
Mr. President, members of the board, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees issue an educator probationary contract for the remainder of the 2024-25 school year as presented.
We have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Kim makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a vote. All in favor? 5-0, motion passes.
Mr. President, members of the board, it is the administration's recommendation that the Board of Trustees issue an educator dual probationary contract for for the 2025-2026 school year as presented.
All right, once again, anyone make the motion?
I move that we accept the dual contract.
Okay. Okay, Brian? All right, all in favor? Motion passes 5-0.
Mr. President, members of the board, it is the administration's recommendation that the Board of Trustees issue administrative contracts for the 25-26 and 26-27 school year as presented.
All right, once again, motion? I'll make the motion.
I'll second that, Leo.
All right, let's take a vote. All in favor? 5-0, motion passes.
That's all we have.
Okay, all right. So the future meeting, next meeting is April 21st, unless we have anything come up before then. 2025, now the next thing on the agenda is adjournment.
Well, don't forget, we do have the groundbreaking next Wednesday, the
Wednesday or
26th.
Thursday?
Is it Wednesday or Thursday?
It's
Wednesday.
At what time?
10 o'clock.
Did everybody receive your invitation in the mail?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're gonna have a little reception
RSVP.
afterwards,
So where do we meet?
high school, in front of the science wing.
Okay.
You'll see,
That'll be-
yeah, we're closing the parking lot off beginning Monday. Athletes will be able to park on the staff because of the walk. Buses will stay where they're at. We'll have a guard at the, what door number is that? 10, because it's going to be fenced. They're not going to be able to get to the front of the school. And then the drop-off and pickup will be by the natatorium tennis courts. And I sent that out for the eyes to look at it, for the ISD, what am I missing? And then after tonight, I'll put that out to the public tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I'm like, oh my gosh. The drop off
Actually-
and pick up.
What?
Drop off and pickups is gonna be a
I think
nightmare.
I think it'll be better. I really do. Maybe not, maybe I'm naive, but I think it was bottlenecked because of the front parking lot area there, and people would try to do 2 lanes. But,
People are always trying to do 2 lanes in every
so
direction.
we'll see. We've spent a lot of time on what can we do, because we have to close it off. That's where construction's gonna be, but you know how it's difficult. Yeah, it'll be, Friday's the last day, so they'll have 4 days to ask questions, and then Monday morning, I'm gonna,
And they still enter through the front doors, right? Because of the
Yes.
metal detectors.
yes. So that's upcoming. Pray for me.
All right, one more thing, adjournment, what are we doing here? 1 and 2, who's gonna make a motion? Oh, not me, I thought, what was it, was it you and
I'll make
Kim?
the
or-
motion.
Y'all figured this out by now, haven't you?
Yeah,
It's time, it's
Number
not even
2.
9 o'clock yet.
Kim, all right. I know, adjournment time is 8:58, before 9 o'clock.
Was it?
So, great meeting, good thing you had.
Wasn't
We've
great.
got to vote though. We've got to vote to adjourn.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
All in favor, motion, anybody want to stay here?
No.
Good job, folks.
Motion passes 5.
Good meeting.
Thank you.
Good conversation. Thank you for your public service.